I think quality should not be associated with a double track. We have a terrible school system. Terrible. But I think it has to change for the better. When you look at the WASI, and year in and out, about 65% do not get the credits that take them to tertiary. 65%. That tells you you don't have a system that is functioning well. So I agree with you that something needs to be done. But that something that needs to be done must not necessarily be linked with the fact that it's double track. Let's begin to track performance going forward. And that is why
but the concern is germane.
The concern is that is it going to be worse?
If they were spending a lot of time in school, and even that,
no,
they were not giving results that you want.
No, they were
now that they're going to spend barely 3 months, or is it?
Oh no, of course, 8 months in school.
Okay.
8 calendar months.
All right.
8 calendar months, 162 days translate into 8 calendar months.
I'm talking about the semester. I'm talking about the
semester. The semester, you see, the number of instructional days used to be 180 days, and it's going to be 162. So we are losing 18 days. So when people talk about long time at home, no, it's short by 18 days. But we make it up with a longer school day. So when you look at instructional hours, we've increased it from 1,080 hours to 1,134 hours. So the actual time with teachers has increased.
Okay.
But the number of days have been shortened by 18 days. So if you look at the length of the vacation, the reason why this is a little bit longer is because you have a semester system, so there are 2 vacations instead of 3. So the vacation has become longer by 18 days. So it's not as if the kids are going to be home all year. We have 1,080 hours instruction compared to 1,134 hours of instruction under the new system. You have 7 hours of teaching and learning compared to about 5 hours and 40 minutes under the old system. So that is how you make it up in terms of contact hours. So we are not worse off in terms of the time that teachers will have to teach the content. We are not worse off.
Okay.
But we also understand
they are not
it's a new
they are
system.
not taking semester exams.
They are taking semester exams.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the entire, the end game. You must have done the system where you may have been familiar with Bubra at the university, where we're told that it used to be very difficult because you do
a whole year.
Yes, and then you go and write the exam. And you have these children who have to break for so long and having to come back and recalibrate, all of that. There are genuine difficulties.
Actually, not that long. Let me kind of describe how the whole system works. You have Form 2 and Form 3 students together with a green track beginning at the same time. And the Form 2 and Form 3, because the semester system they stay in school for 4 months. The only time they will come home is the brief Christmas break. So they have 4 months of work done. And that 4 months translates into 81 instructional days. And that is where the confusion has come from. I was in a show when somebody was dividing the 162 by 30 and concluding that, hey, the students are spending just 5 months in school. No. Instructional month is about 19 days, 20 days at most, because you take away all the weekend and holidays. So when we talk about 81 days, you are talking about 4 months, calendar month. So if you're in Form 2, Form 3, you go to school and spend 4 months instead of breaking after 3 months and coming back because there are only 2 vacations. So you do 4 months, then you break for 2 months, and then you come back and do another 4 months.
Okay.
And then you do the last vacation before you go to the next academic year. So Form 2 and Form 3, or if you are in a single track school, 4 months, 2 months of break, 4 months, 2 months of break, you are done for the year, single track school. If you happen to be in a double track school, the Form 2 and the Form 3s go 4 months non-stop. And then they take their 2 month break and go another 4 months non-stop and take their 2.
Okay.
I've seen
you note down the concerns raised in such a neat chronological order. So if you can keep it focused
on that and deal with them
one after the other.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So I'll briefly mention that when we talk about double track, the Form 1s, who are in the double track schools, where we have 2 groups, and it's scheduled in such a way that they will space in the school. So the green track goes for 2 months and break, but their semester is not over. And they take their 2 month break. So after they finish the 2 months, the gold track comes, and the gold track goes 4 months non-stop. But in the middle of the gold track's 2 months, the green track comes back and joins them. At that time, Form 2 and Form 3 are done and they're on vacation. So the school is virtually empty. A school that had 3,000 students will only have 1,500 students. So if they have 2 dining halls, schedules and other things, so this is how you decongest the schools. And at any point in time, do you have more students there than the previous year?
Okay.
So then we go to the issue of quality. You see, quality, if you've done some education policy, you're going to realize that quality of education depends on a number of things. One of them is if you have a very good accreditation regime. In Ghana, we chose to have school inspections instead of accreditation. Okay? So you don't have an external body that looks at how you are doing like we do at the university level, whether you are public or private. So it's the school inspecting. So they inspect themselves. And the law then said, no, there should be an independent entity, and that's the National Inspectorate Board that has been set up to look at. So you have a school inspector who's supposed to inspect the schools in order to ensure quality, at least from outside. But the quality within the school, in terms of internal checks, you really have to have the way the classroom is arranged, the way the teachers teach, so that children can retain what the teachers teach them. We are doing what the people call chew, pour, pass and forget. And I call that chew, pour, fail and forget. Because if 65% of your students are failing, how can you call it chew, pour, pass and forget? Chew, pour, fail and forget. Children are not retaining the learning in such a way that when the exams start, they don't have to memorize and they can still do well. So before double track, the system has not been performing. So Dr. Odro, from University of Cape Coast, what I'm saying is that the system has not been performing. And my sister talked about quality. How do we improve quality so that the public school students are not disadvantaged? You see, if we do not have a national assessment program, there's no way we're going to improve quality in our public schools. Why do I say that? In this country, before you know that students of a particular school are not doing well, it's after 11 years. 2 years of KG, 6 years of primary, 3 years of junior high, then BECE comes. And that is where everybody says, oh, the student didn't do well. 11 years. You don't have, we've started pilot EGRA, an assessment for English and mathematics. And that is what the Ministry of Education is now proposing to roll out nationwide. That means every single student will do assessment in primary 2, primary 4, primary 6. Why is that important? If they do the primary 2 assessment, the nation will get the data and say our primary 2 students are not reading at grade level. Then the school has an opportunity, the head teacher has an opportunity to ensure that there is intervention in primary 3. We go back in primary 4 and say, how is the nation doing? Are students reading? Are they doing mathematics well? They are not. You have another year intervention. By the way, if you happen to be the head of a school where all primary 2 students fail the test, it's about time we talk about intervention for you or you're out.
Okay.
So at the Ministry of Education...
So maybe that's where the licensure exams comes in.
So that, you see, the licensure, people talk about why should I go and take an exam? You see, if you get your degree, I cannot ask University of Cape Coast to upgrade your degree. But if you have a license, I can always ask you to upgrade yourself so that you can get another license. So the licensure become